Hi, my name is Riley McVeary, and today I'm going to be talking about why The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is an effective example of the ecofiction genre. So first we're going to talk about what an ecofiction is. Jim Dwyer, the author of Where the Wild Books Are, a field guide to ecofiction, admits that the exact definition of ecofiction is ever evolving, but refers to Mike Vasey when defining it himself, who says that ecofiction is essentially four things. First, they are stories set in fictional landscapes that capture the essence of natural ecosystems. Two, they can build around human relationships to these ecosystems or leave out humans altogether. Three, they take the reader into the natural world and bring it alive. And four, ideally, the landscape and ecosystems, whether fantasy or real, should be as realistic as possible and plot constraints should accord with ecological principles. Tears of the Kingdom does all of this, while also deepening the role of nature in the video game genre by fully immersing the player in the world that was created for the game. So what is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? It is the 2023 open-world action-adventure game created by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. The player, playing as Link, is tasked with finding and saving Princess Zelda and preventing Ganondorf from destroying Hyrule. In the opening scenes of Tears of the Kingdom, Link and Princess Zelda explore tunnels beneath Hyrule Castle to investigate a mysterious gloom causing illness to the Hylians. They discover a mural about Hyrule's founding and the ancient Zonai race before encountering the reanimated demon king Ganondorf, who attacks, causing the event known as the Upheaval, which causes the castle to float above land, the lowering of the mysterious Sky Islands, and the opening of holes in the land that lead to the depths. This event also causes Zelda's disappearance and Link losing his arm. Link awakens with a magical new arm on a sky island, meets the spirit of Zonai King Rauru, and is tasked with defeating Ganondorf and rescuing Zelda. So what is an open-world video game? Gamepedia describes an open-world game as featuring a non-linear game design where the player is able to freely traverse the environment, which consists of many different areas and structures that can be visited at any time. Tears of the Kingdom and its predecessor, Breath of the Wild, certainly fall under this definition, as you can go anywhere you want. There are very few limitations other than physical, which we will get into later, but in both of these games, if you want to, right from the beginning after the tutorial, you can go straight to the final boss. The developers definitely made sure to let players have as much freedom as they want. So what makes Tears of the Kingdom different? Not only does Tears of the Kingdom excel in creating an open world layout, but also in creating a fully realized landscape, world, and ecosystem. Alenda Chang, author of Playing Nature, Ecology, and Video Games, describes one of the main mistakes developers make when creating their worlds in the first chapter of her book. She states, at present, most games commit at least one, if not all of the following missteps in their realization of in-game environments. Relegating environment to background scenery, relying on stereotyped landscapes, and predicting player success on extraction and use of natural resources. In the first and most common scenario, a game flaunts its environment to the extent that it provides gratifying visuals, while the environment itself remains inert, the functional equivalent of theater flats or green screen technology. Tears of the Kingdom moves away from this idea that nature is simply the backdrop of the greater story and utilizes nature and the environment in ways that are compelling to the story of the game. What makes Tears of the Kingdom an effective ecofiction is the inclusion of the real effects of climate change on not only the environment, but the people who live in the affected areas and the multiple ways that it manifests. The player, as Link, is not only tasked with saving Zelda and Hyrule, but they are also tasked with helping them to better the world ravaged by the effects of the post-apocalypse and the destabilization of the climate for the people who live in it. As you can see here in this video, Link is very involved in his community, and in this fight, he is currently fighting the monster forces with other members of the Hylian community. All of the fighting and the monsters and the landscapes are not something that just happen in the background, but they are things that Link is fully involved in and a crucial part of. Point forward, I'm going to go through the 4 parts of Vasey's definition and talk about how Tears of the Kingdom is a great example of ecofiction. So, according to Vasey's definition, the first part of what an ecofiction is that they are stories set in fictional landscapes that capture the essence of natural ecosystems. Hyrule is a fictional setting that has its own variety of natural ecosystems. Everywhere Link goes, the player can experience this. One example is seen in this video that's playing right now. Um, this is the Gerudo Desert. A group of women live here in their own city, and this is also the only place where sand seals thrive, which is what you can see Link is currently using to ride throughout the desert. They are never in any other area in the game. They can only live here. This is their natural ecosystem. Another example of this is seen in all of the different areas. One being the abandoned Sky Islands, where there are no longer living people, but many birds have found their homes in it, and the forests where fireflies and bees' nests can be almost exclusively found. The second part of Daisy's definition says that these stories can build around human relationships to these ecosystems or leave humans out altogether. Tears of the Kingdom absolutely builds a lot of its story around peoples and their relationships to their environments. One example of this is in the Zora storyline. The Zora are anthropomorphic fish people who depend on their ecosystem to live. In Tears of the Kingdom, they are being affected by the onslaught of sludge falling from the sky and entering their waterways. The sludge is poisoning them and causing them to fall ill, and in this video you can see that Link happens upon a Zora who has been caught in sludge. He finds the slosh root, which he's grabbing now, and then he uses it to free the Zora. This side quest is one of many examples in the entire game that shows that the people in this world depend on the nature to live. They depend on their ecosystems, and when these ecosystems are poisoned or tarnished, like the Zora, they suffer greatly. The third part of Vasey's definition states that the story should take the reader into the natural world and bring it alive. Obviously, the main goal of Tears of the Kingdom is to save Zelda and defeat Ganon, but it also creates a sense of community that the player wants to fight for. The open world design paired with optional side quests makes the game feel less like a set linear path to saving the world and more like being a part of a group of people with a common goal. Link can assist patrol groups in fighting off monsters, which is what we saw before, and reclaiming overrun areas or even whole cities. He can gather bugs and monster parts to create elixirs, help non-playable characters with their attacks, or to sell to vendors. There's even a side quest where Link helps to teach the youths of Hyrule in a new school recently built by Zelda. In terms of the natural world, in Tears of the Kingdom, there's a new mechanism that allows Link to attach items to his weapon to give them special abilities. A good example of this can be seen in the clip that's playing now, and the Bright Bloom seeds, which he's about to throw, are only found in the depths and in caves, and in this clip, you can see that he throws them onto the ground and little creatures start feeding on them. Everything has its place in the environment, and although they're helpful to Link, they also serve a place in their original environment. The fourth part of Vasey's definition calls for realism in these fictional worlds. There should be plot constraints that accord with ecological principles. In the clip that's playing now, you can see that there are many consequences to Link's actions. He is not invincible. The world around him is not maybe out to get him. However, he has to follow the rules of physics and of the natural world he lives in. Link is still susceptible to damage from falling, exhaustion, physical injury, extreme heat, extreme cold, drowning, and electrocution, which is what you just saw, just to name a few. Link cannot yield weapons or shields made from metal during a storm, or he will be electrocuted when lightning strikes. Link also cannot climb anything slippery, such as surfaces wet from rain, or anything made from ice or glass. Hyrule is a fantasy world where magic exists, and many things are possible, but it is also a world with natural rules and consequences. And that's Link getting eaten by a fox. That's all for my video. I wanted to say thank you for watching, and here are all the credits for all the videos shown. Thank you.